All right. And with that, we are at the top of the hour. Hello and welcome to this month's Tippie Lunch and Learn webinar, Practical Insights from the University of Iowa's Tippie College of Business, served over lunch and ready to use right away. I'm your host, Nick Westergaard. I teach at Tippie, where I also lead our Story Lab program. Today's special, The State of the College with Dean Amy Kristof Brown. Now, because we know that many of you join us over the lunch hour, we always like to get things kicked off with a special shout out to a food themed alum doing great work. So, as we look ahead to the future of the college, we wanted to highlight alums who don't just study the principles of growth and leadership, they apply them every day. Nate Kading, Hawkeye football legend, earned his Tippie MBA to channel his leadership from the football field straight into the culinary world, becoming a founding partner of Gold Cap Hospitality by launching and revitalizing iconic Iowa City staples like Pullman, St. Birch Tavern, and the Hamburg Inn. Nate has turned a strategic vision into a thriving reality that shapes our local community. Nate's a perfect example of how a Tippie education empowers our alumni to build meaningful brands and lead their industries forward. Some housekeeping. Today's session is being recorded and will be available on Tippie's alumni and lifelong learning pages, as well as on our YouTube channel. Past webinars are also free and open to the public, so feel free to share. Now, as I mentioned before, we have a little more housekeeping here today. There's some severe weather in Iowa. If you need to seek shelter, please do so. And fear not, we will, as always, send you a recording of this webinar. And if we need to seek shelter and get interrupted, Amy and I will re-record this and get it sent out to you in its entirety. So, be weather aware. But now, let's dive into today's main course. We're taking a timely look at where the college is headed and why it matters. Moving from today's achievements to a sustainable future requires a strategic look at our growth, building plans, and innovative learning. To help us explore this, we're joined by Dean Amy Kristof Brown. In addition to being our dean, Amy is a leading voice in management who recently stopped by the Tippie Leads podcast to share how she balances leading the Tippie of today with planning for the Tippie of tomorrow. She's here to share key developments shaping our faculty research, student opportunities, and the college's impact. We'll have a little bit of time at the end for questions. You can submit yours using that Q&A feature right here, and feel free to share anything in the chat as well. Now, let's get started. Amy, take it away.
Thank you, Nick. You always do such a great introduction. Thank you to everyone joining us today. Hopefully you have better weather than we do, and just get to sit back and relax and enjoy learning a little bit about the college. I really appreciate you being here. This is one of my favorite opportunities during the year to get a chance to really talk to our alums and people who want to know more about the college all across the country, throughout the world. So thank you for joining me on this journey today. I want to start out by just talking a little bit about giving you some performance highlights over the last couple of years. As many of you know, I stepped into this role in March of 2020. So I stepped into becoming the interim dean at the very beginning of COVID and became the dean in December of 2020. We have really been reflecting on what our growth has been, our performance over the last 5 years. And I am very pleased to say that I've been invited to continue on as the dean for Tippie for another 5 years. So thank you for being a part of the journey that I've been on since the first day of COVID till today. And I think you'll be excited about some of the things that we see coming forward. The first thing I want to talk about is people always ask me, how does Tippie do compared to your competitors? And so I want to share some of the terrific rankings that we have. Our goal is to try and have all of our programs in the top 25 of public colleges. And right now we are sitting very nicely in the number 21 spot of the top public business schools in U.S. News and World Report. and our online and part-time MBA programs actually being number 11. So sitting very solidly in that zone. Our undergraduate insurance program, risk management and insurance. Many of you who've joined me over the last several years know that we launched that program about 3 years ago, and we are the number 7 public program in the country. We're the number 3 in terms of size, and by this fall, we may be number 2. Undergraduate BAIS, that's Business Analytics and Information Systems, Entrepreneurship, and then really nice top rankings for our public online MBA for the veterans community. So because of the flexibility, the ease of working in and out of our program in a variety of different locations, our program for the online MBA, the Iowa MBA as we call it, has always been a real fan favorite of our veterans community. So we're very proud of that. So we continue to strive to keep Tippie in this top 25, very comfortably sitting in that spot, but we don't take anything for granted as it becomes a more and more competitive marketplace. I want to talk just briefly about, as I mentioned, I've been the dean for the last 6 years or so, and to really talk about how we accomplished some of our goals that we had set in our 2020 to 2025 strategic plan. I'll touch on enrollments, our advances in student success, one of the key reasons why we are here, but I will also mention our growth in faculty and some of the wonderful things that they have been doing in the creativity, innovation, and research space. And then I will talk a little bit about our enhanced partnerships, because that's been one of my great endeavors, has been to try and make Tippie more open for business. And that's something that we've made some great strides in, and we have some new exciting news about. And then I'll also mention finances, because the area of higher education in the last couple of years has received a lot of questions, and I want to try to address those today and talk about our future. First, we'll mention our student enrollment and student success metrics. Our college has been growing steadily. This gives you a sort of a look at the last 10 years. But going just from the 2020 point when I took over as the dean, we have seen a 47% increase in our undergraduate enrollments. This has been due to a large number of factors, but certainly the addition of some really exciting programs like risk management and entrepreneurship. There's also just been a general increase in interest in business, and we've done a great job of getting more of our students who come in as pre-business students, getting them into the Tippie College and making sure that they leave the University of Iowa with the degree that they came here to pursue. So really excellent growth in that space, and about holding steady from 2020 on in our graduate programs, and we'll talk about those in a minute, because even though the number is fairly consistent, it's up about 5% since 2020, we've changed a lot of our portfolio in that space, moving to more online programs that reach more people across the country and are more flexible for working professionals. You'll also see that we have Enterprise Leadership, which is our College of Liberal Arts entrepreneurship program, and our economics program. Don't worry, it looks like it stops here in fall of 2024. That doesn't mean that we've lost our economics majors. What it means is we actually rolled them into the Tippie College, and so they are now receiving their degrees from Tippie. This is a student body that we've always served for many, many years, as the economics faculty have always resided in Tippie, but now they are rolled into our numbers. So that also speaks to the additional growth in our undergraduate population. People often ask me, how big is Tippie going to get? And I think that we're going to still see a little bit of growth over the next couple of years, but then there are some headwinds that will probably keep us relatively flat after about another year or two of growth. So I don't see us going much above 5,000 students. I think size-wise, and we'll talk about building in a couple of minutes, but size-wise, culture-wise, a highly personalized approach to education is going to get much harder to do if we start getting much larger than 5,000 students. In our undergraduate majors, who are they? They are very much dominated in the finance category. So we have almost 1,200 undergraduate finance majors. And so we do a lot of things to try to make sure that those students who have this really solid underpinning of financial knowledge, that they have a great pipeline into good jobs. And so we'll talk about some of those strategies in a few moments. Marketing is our second largest major at this point, and then coming out of kind of the middle of the pack, back in 2023, accounting has taken a large surge forward. That is largely supported by the introduction of our corporate accounting track. That was something that our Professional Accounting Council recommended to us that we do. We spent a lot of time listening to businesses in Iowa, and we heard how much they needed great corporate accountants. And so we worked with our accounting faculty, introduced a corporate accounting subtrack, and that has really fueled the increase in accounting majors. So they are now our third largest major in the college, followed by business analytics and information systems, RMI, which is that risk management and insurance, which, as you can see on the chart, we just started in fall of 2023, and it has already just seen exponential growth. Management has stayed fairly steady over the last couple of years. Economics is an area, as you see, as we've folded in some of our majors, and this is our BBA in economics. When we add them together with our BA and our BS degrees in econ, we have over 150 students. So econ is an area that we know is so important, and it continues to grow, and Tippie is helping to fuel that. And then entrepreneurship, which is our newest major that we added, is growing nice and steadily forward. Our working professional programs in our graduate space, that is something that we have really taken a lean into over the last several years. We had a full-time MBA program back in 2017 and before. We announced its closure, and it finished up in spring of 2019. We shifted all of our attention to the working professional community. And so our Iowa MBA program, which has a location in Des Moines, but mostly serves students in an online fashion. That program is very steady at 1,300 students, and then another 300 or so in our Masters of Science in Business Analytics program. I mentioned that these are online programs for our working professionals. That allows them to have easy access to our curriculum. It means that students from across the country can come together to be a really vibrant class. And even though these are online programs, I do want to reiterate that these are classes that are meeting. They meet once a week with the faculty member. They meet over Zoom. So students still work in teams. They still work very closely with the faculty member, and they get the opportunity to learn from each other. So when you hear about the growth of online MBA programs, know that there's a lot of differences between them. And Tippie's program continues to be a very hands-on personal interaction program with our faculty and our students with each other. One of the things we really track is student success. That is why we're here, to try and help our students become successful in their careers. And some of that is what happens to them during the 4 years that they're here. So one of the numbers that you'll hear us talk about a lot is our first year retention. That is the number of students that enter Tippie as a freshman, and they continue on to Tippie as a sophomore student. So that number in first year retention has been growing. We're already higher than the rest of the university, and so our numbers will continue to improve, but probably I'd like to get it up to 90%, but it's possible that some students start at Tippie and then decide for one reason or another, maybe they want a different major or they want to switch out to a different college. So 90% is probably what our cap would be there. And I want to make sure that we get there as soon as we can. Oh, I'm sorry. I had my covering over it. We're actually over 90%. We're closer to 95, 96%. So doing great in that space. And we continue to make sure that when those students come in, they get all of the positive benefits that come from being a part of the Tippie community. Our 4-year graduation rate has also shown a really nice steady improvement. We are up around 90% now in that 4-year graduation rate. That's a number that's really important to parents because they are often footing the bill. And so they're interested in their students getting in, getting out. This includes students who would graduate in 3 years or 3.5 years. And we do have a number of students that do that as well. So they all wrap into our 4-year graduation rate. Our placement rate is something that we really look into. We want to make sure when a student graduates from Tippie that we've given them every opportunity for success on the job market. So we have seen a nice over 10% growth in our placement rate at graduation. That's something that we really look at. Our placement rate, once they're out 6 months, is about 94%. And so that is what we would expect. But I am most interested in, do they have a job when they leave and walk across the stage for commencement? So really nice growth that we've seen in this space. This is now comparable with our peer Big Ten institutions, but we think that we can get it even higher. So I'd love to get up and pass that sort of 65, 70% placed at graduation. And then finally, the last category of student success is pre-business yield. These are the students that come in and they start with us as a pre-business student, and then they want to transition into the Tippie College either in their sophomore or their junior year. And you'll see that we've had really nice success getting them converted into Tippie students, which means that they are being more successful in those introductory accounting and economics classes. So great gains in student success over the last 5 years, and we continue to set higher aspirations for all of these metrics. I wanted to call out a number of our students participate in competitions. They participate in case challenges. This is something that students do in their spare time, on the weekends, on the evenings. And one of our most exciting wins that we had in the last year was our student team that went to the National Fiscal Challenge in Washington, D.C. This is their faculty advisor, Alexandra Nika from our economics department. And these students went and they placed #1 in the country, first time participating in this challenge. What that means is they presented the first place plan for how to balance the national budget deficit in 30 years. So if you want to balance the national deficit, talk to a group of Tippie students and we have a plan for you. Our students are flourishing in many other ways. I want to just mention 2 of our just stellar programs. Our Gateway program, which many of you on the call I know help support. This is our program for high school students who are concerned, maybe anxious, maybe first generation, coming to a large university. So we set up a summer program for them in the summer before their senior year so they can learn what it's like to be at a Big Ten College of Business. We have terrific peer mentors, terrific staff and faculty participation, and we spend a week with them, and we get a nice percentage of them coming back the following fall and joining us as Tippie or as University of Iowa students in other majors. Our Tippie Thrive program is another program that we really are excited about. We really focus not just on making sure that our students are academically successful, but also personally successful. And that means managing stress, managing anxiety, being resilient in the face of challenges. And so we have started with some generous support from our donors, a Tippie Thrive program, which focuses on brain health and resilience. They show programming in classes. We do Thrive Thursdays, which are located in the atrium, so every student walking in has an opportunity to see it. And we work with them throughout their career planning discussions as well. So really thinking about how do we make sure that students have the professional skills to manage that mental health, that resiliency angle as they are working toward their degree and then as they go out and become young professionals. We're graduating record number of students. I'll show you just some of the numbers here from the last year, continuing to just put more and more Tippie graduates out into the workplace, which is really important to our corporate partners. All of this happens with the input of our world-class faculty. So you see a great picture here of some of our faculty from our accounting department, Jaron Wild and Ryan Wilson, and they are some of our top faculty in accounting right now. Jaron in the maroon robe leads our Introduction to Financial Accounting and has had tremendous outcomes with those students. So we have been investing in our faculty. You can't grow your student population by 47% and not grow your faculty along with them. So we have been growing at a rate of about 20% over the last 5 years for our faculty. Our total number is at 166 today. That is mostly comprised of our tenured and tenure track faculty. Those are our research-oriented faculty, but also very well supported by our instructional track faculty who focus most heavily on teaching and service. We have a few clinical and visiting faculty as well that work in the community, and that is something that we are consistently working on, making sure that we're getting good outreach to folks in the community, not just Tippie students, but also small business owners. Most of our clinical faculty are in our entrepreneurship program. We always look at the impact of our faculty research. As we've grown our faculty, we've also helped them to be more productive. So when we look at faculty productivity on research, we look at our total number of publications that they generate, peer-reviewed publications. You see a really nice growth in those over the last 5 years. And then we really also look at our top tier publications. So these are the ones that are in our top ranked academic journals. We look at those most closely because those are the ones that are most likely to be read by people in the field. And so that's something that we've been very, very interested in doing. And then you see our media mentions. We've made a very concerted effort to make sure that if our faculty are doing interesting and impactful research, that we have people writing and talking about it. So doing research just for other academics is not good enough. We need to make sure that our research is having an impact on the community. And so we have a strong communications team that helps us get that information out to the general public. We also take a look at our externally funded research. This is research funded on grants, generally coming in as federal grants, but some foundation grants, some state grants as well. And you see that our number of grant dollars awarded has also gone up over the last couple of years, even despite some of the changes that have been happening in the grant allocation system. Here are some of the media mentions. I showed that statistic there before, but here it is again, 168% growth in media mentions. Sorry for the lightning crack in the background. And just a couple of articles that I can sort of highlight that have been in the New York Times, The Economist, Marketplace, and the Des Moines Register. So our faculty are doing work that is getting highlighted and elevated in these media outlets, which means that more people and more businesses, more communities are learning from them and what they do. I want to highlight two of our faculty that are really leading the way. Amy Colbert, many of you know her if you are alumni of the program. She is the University of Iowa Distinguished Chair. She's faculty director of our social impact community and a professor in management and entrepreneurship. And she was just recently the recipient of the University of Iowa Distinguished Mentoring Award for her work with PhD students and also with our undergraduate students in the social impact community. She has truly touched hundreds of lives working with them and leading them into great professional success and careers. There is one top mentoring award each year that the university awards, and she was the recipient this year. Another faculty member is Dr. Nick Street. He is our Associate Dean for Research and PhD programs, the Hadley Chair in Leadership, and a professor in Business Analytics. He is the recipient and will get this award, I believe, next Tuesday, or Monday or Tuesday at a luncheon with our Iowa Board of Regents. He is the winner of this year's Faculty Award for Faculty Excellence, which again focuses on the impact that these faculty are having in terms of their research, their teaching, and the quality of their service to the state. So truly wonderful. They're just a small sliver of our outstanding faculty, but if you know any of these individuals, please send them a congratulations. I also want to uplift that we have 9 faculty members that are serving as the top editors in their top tier academic journals. This means that they are having incredible impact on what gets published in our academic journals. They are shaping the field of their respective disciplines in accounting, in transportation and logistics, and in applied psychology. So we are continuing to have some of the people that shape the discipline at the Tippie College of Business. How do we bring some of these insights from their work out to you? You heard Nick mention the Tippie Leads podcast. We have multiple seasons streaming right now, so you can go on to Spotify or Apple Play, and you can listen to these at any point in time. They're great to listen to in the car. A great faculty publication this year is Catching Cheats by our department executive officer in the finance department, Eric Lee. He has been tremendously interested in how do you catch businesses and how do you use data to find when people are not being truthful in what they're stating in their earnings and in a variety of other ways. So this is a great, very I wouldn't say an easy read, but it is a read for people who are interested in financial dynamics in companies. So I would recommend that to you. And then, as Nick mentioned, also our Lunch and Learn webinars, which are available on a variety of different topics, focused on your career, focused on important topics such as AI and personal development, such as one of my favorites, becoming the CEO of your calendar. So these are great, and Nick will be able to help you find and navigate toward that. At the end of this session, we'll give you a link that you can click on any YouTube channel, and you can get into what those Lunch and Learn webinars have to offer, including this one today. So, reinforcing our business partnerships. This is a terrific picture with some of the staff from H&I and their CEO. Jeff has been one of our Tippie Advisory Board members for a while, and this is a great opportunity of when they brought their team to work with us here in the Tippie College. We are expanding our industry outreach. Here's just a couple of pictures of some great partnerships with organizations like John Deere, with Principal, with the Iowa Economic Development Agency. We are really thinking about how do we get employers better engaged with our students. We know that we are a major talent pipeline for businesses across the state, and we want to make sure that we're tightening those connections through our career services. We've introduced and made sure that there are experiential learning courses where people are using real data, working with real executives, and really getting into the existing problems in these companies, and they're doing it in every single major. Our revenue growth has also come to the college from these partnerships, which has been helpful in fueling the ability of us to staff positions so that they can help generate these kinds of projects, and have really been supporting our career services unit that helps create a seamless talent pipeline between Tippie graduates and the community. And then our customized executive education program through the Tippie Leadership Collaborative. We've worked with a number of different companies, different other educational institutions and partners here, even at the University of Iowa, to make sure that we can deliver customized education as a part of your training program. So these are all ways which we try to be a valuable member of the partnerships that we create with organizations throughout Iowa and the region. We will soon be bringing together a lot of our centers and institutes. This is just an example of some of the ones that exist. By bringing them together into more of a collective, we can streamline our communications with your organization, share information better with each other, and make sure that we are truly facilitating the student-to-company connections, whether that's through those experiential projects, whether it's through internships, which are the #1 predictor of student placement, or whether it is directly interacting through career fairs and opportunities for placements. Mentoring programs, executive one-on-ones, advisory boards. There's a number of ways that you can get involved with each of these centers and institutes. So think of our centers and institutes as our connective tissue to the outside world, making sure that everything that we do in Tippie is highly relevant to today's organizations and their business challenges. We have had strong revenue growth based on these increasing enrollments over the last several years. We now have a revenue in stream of over $80 million a year. That is largely tuition dollars. There are additional sources of that revenue, including over 10% of our budget is philanthropy that supports some of the exciting things that we're doing through our centers and institutes. We've managed to have this growth also through disciplined spending, which has allowed us to have a little bit of net income that allows us to then reinvest in our infrastructure. So as many of you know and are very excited about, we are building the Tippie of tomorrow. What you see on your screen here is a connection. On the right side of the screen is Gilmore Hall, the original law school at the University of Iowa, built in 1910, and the Papa John Business Building that opened in 1994 on your left side. You see the beautiful new atrium that will connect those buildings and how we are seamlessly integrating both the past and the future at the University of Iowa for business. This is super exciting for us, and it's what we've spent a lot of time over the last year thinking about how to do. This is the overarching picture. When people say, I just can't picture it in my head, this is our picture and our vision of what we're trying to do with the Tippie of tomorrow. The light gray that you see is the existing Papa John Business Building. The light yellow is Gilmore Hall. And then the new piece that you see connecting them in the heart of the building really pulls together those buildings and creates a center that is all undergraduate, student-focused, heavily interested in making sure that they're getting all of the services that they need to meet their needs, whether it's career services, supplemental instruction, communications training in our Frank Communications Center. All of those things will be happening inside that space. And so it's very exciting. How we're pulling these together is something that the Board of Regents, I think, is very interested in. They are coming on Monday to see the footprint of this plan, but being able to take the existing resources on the campus and turn them into a sustainable vision for the future is what we are very dedicated toward accomplishing. So building the Tippie of tomorrow, people ask me, how much is this going to cost? The cost on this project is $60 million. That will likely go up a little bit with increasing costs of materials and building, but this should be around where we're targeting. When we had explored the option of building a brand new building, that was upwards of $120 million. So we supported the solution that allowed us to modernize our existing buildings and also make sure that we were doing it in a financially viable way. So out of the 60 million, we had a $54 million fundraising goal, and the university is contributing $6 million, and then $48.6 million we needed to raise in order to be able to break ground. As of the time that I put these slides together, we still had $550,000 to raise. I want to say a tremendous thank you and be the first to announce that as of today, we have met that goal and we have closed that gap to groundbreaking. So when I present this to the Board of Regents on Monday and they examine it on Tuesday, the money that we have raised takes us 90% of the way to our total. And that allows us to break ground, which will be September 18th. And I'll talk about that later. So I just want to say a tremendous thank you to everyone who's been involved, whether you were sending us $25, whether you were sending us $2 million, whether you were talking to people about it and getting people excited about this. And a huge thank you to our development team led by Anthony Lennertz. They have been working with me and the rest of our team tirelessly. We have raised this money in the last year, largely supported at the beginning by a wonderful gift from the Tippie family. So thank you, thank you, thank you to all of you who've had a hand in this and making the Tippie of tomorrow a reality. I will show through toward the end of the presentation ways that you can donate if you haven't already. Every gift matters. It truly does. It's because we have about $6 million left to raise till the final cost of the building. But we're excited and we're ready to run with it. All donors at $25,000 or more, and that can be done through a 5-year pledge, will be recognized in the building on our donor wall. So thank you again for making this a reality. This is our website. If you go to foriowa.org/Tippie, it will take you automatically to the donation page, and you can make your donation straight through through that portal. It'll also let you see the fly-through and view some of the existing plans. I want to thank also the people who contributed to the building and to a variety of our other funds through our One Day for Iowa campaign. That is a campaign that runs through social media. So those of you who are Facebook and Instagram connected, this was a great way for you to be a part of our project. And I thank you for everything that you've supported in that. So what does the future hold? We have a great opportunity for continued success with our graduates, and I want to tell you some of the things that we're talking about and working on very actively today. First, there's a lot of shifts in higher education. This is when I took the deanship back in 2020. I started at that point training for something I had never done, which was to run a half marathon. Prior to that point, the only time I ran was if something was chasing me. And at that point, I decided this was a goal and I wanted to achieve it. So I worked really hard to try to get ready to successfully complete that half marathon. And toward the end of it, there's an incline. The hills started to come on. You had to go uphill to finish it. And it was a challenge. That's kind of where we are right now in higher education. We have been running a marathon. We are getting there. We are making tremendous progress and doing very, very well. But there are some inclines that are to come. And that comes in a couple of different ways, many of which you've heard about. First is that there is simply a reduced college applicant population. We talk about this as the enrollment cliff. After the 2008-2009 financial crisis, not as many people had children, and those are the 18 and 17-year-olds now that are our pipeline for coming into undergraduate programs. So we know that there's a smaller population of students. We know that the online space post-COVID, we were in that space very quickly, but now it's getting very crowded. At least once a week, I hear of someone else launching another online MBA program. I don't think any of them are as good as the Iowa MBA, but they're going to be more competitors. So that's an incline for us to charge into. We always face funding uncertainties at the state level. This year, our funding held constant, and that's something to be very appreciative of. But we don't know what the future holds. And then in general, we face a lot of questions about, with the advent of AI, is there value in getting a college education? And so we have to be able to answer those questions in a way that we have never had to do in the past. So these are not insurmountable challenges. I did complete the half marathon. I made it up the hill. I got to the end result. I wouldn't say I was in great shape when I got there, but it was a feeling of success, and that is where we will be. No matter how steep these hills are, we will find a way to be successful. We will do that by making sure that we are really thinking about how do we partner what we do with technology. Largely that is going to come from continuing in the online space, focusing on opportunities for degree completion and certificate programs to make sure that students maybe who got an MBA 5, 10, 20 years ago, and now they need to know about AI. So what do we have? We have AI certificates that can help you complete that education process. Meaningful credentials that will help you in your existing job solving today's problems. Our industry partnerships unlock these opportunities to work and create really great customized student experiences, but also solve important problems for our business partners. And we are using AI in many different ways to transform how we teach, how we research, and how we run the college. Some of our industry-focused connections that we are really putting forward right now, these are exciting. They start in the fall. We are starting for some of those 1,200 finance majors a wealth management certificate that is CFP certified. It allows them then to sit for that exam when they finish with our program. This is a great opportunity for them to get a head start into a wonderful career. We're starting also our strategic sales program and certificate that is open not just to business students, but also students in engineering, pharmacy, biology, anybody who's likely to step into a sales job as one of their first jobs out of college, which is a large percentage of students. And so we are getting ready to equip them with the skills that they need to be successful, to get those jobs, and then to thrive in them when they get there. And then for those of you in the entrepreneurial community, exciting news that we are moving from our traditional Bell, which is our Bedell Entrepreneurship Learning Laboratory that sits on Clinton Street. We're moving down to the Hotel Vetro for a new incubator that is open not just for student teams, but also for entrepreneurs in the area. And so this is an exciting opportunity to get our students and our entrepreneurs in the community together to make sure that they're getting all the opportunity to create power and push their businesses forward. This year, we have been investing in AI capabilities across the college. We have provided training to all of our staff for how do we improve operational efficiencies, and to our faculty for how can you enhance instruction using AI, thinking about ways that we can use it as an assist to faculty so that they are more open and responsive to students. In the middle of the night, your faculty member is not going to answer a question about a concept that the student's confused about, but AI that's trained by our faculty can do that at any hour of the night. And so getting our faculty up to speed on how they can use AI to be more responsive to students is something that we have been really focused on over the last year. We've also had each of our departments looking at their curriculum and doing a deep dive into where AI is relevant and where it is not. Because it's important for us to remember that students need good judgment. They need to understand fundamental concepts. They need to know how to use AI and what is the appropriate way that they can do that. So we're really doing that with the partnership of our advisory boards and alumni in each of these areas. So I thank you to all of you who have participated in helping us diagnose where we should be putting AI in our curriculum and where we should keep it kind of on the back burner. We've put some money behind this through pilot grants for our faculty and asking those faculty to then present workshops to others so that we can scale this up. And we're starting to do the same thing with our staff in the operations. We know that we can't continue to just grow and add staff as we add new programs. So how can we help our staff and our faculty to be more efficient and more effective by using AI? Building our AI-ready advantage. This is something that we think about a lot, and we have firmly settled on the idea that Tippie students need to graduate being very technically equipped, but undeniably human. We know that what makes a difference to their success is not whether they can generate a slick executive summary at the beginning of a report, but whether they can look that executive in the eye and talk about what is contained in that report and get them to trust and to understand the analysis that went into the report. So we are really thinking about how do we make sure that this is not just something that takes over all of what we do, but it's also not something that we put in the corner. It's something that we want to make sure our students are fluent in and bring it to the job market. That makes a strategic differentiator for our students. I get asked the question all the time, will there be jobs? Will there be entry-level jobs once there is AI? And my answer is solidly yes, there will be, but the entry-level employees will need to know how to use AI in order to be successful. And that's what we are preparing them to do, but also to be undeniably human. I invite you to continue your engagement with us in many possible ways. First, I want to make sure to announce something we announced last week on Facebook, our 2026 Alum and Young Alum of the Year, Nick Henches, CEO of Captive Resources, and J.D. Klopfenstein, financial advisor at the Principal Financial Group. We will recognize and honor these individuals for their contributions back to the Tippie College of Business through many different forms, through working with our students, providing internship opportunities, mentoring, supporting the growth of student opportunities in so many, many ways. And we will honor them September 11th, Friday, September 11th, at the Old Capitol Museum. That program, I believe, starts at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, maybe 4:30, but we'd love to have you join us at that and celebrate these two tremendous individuals. I invite you to stay connected. We know that we are better because of the community that you help us create. So, number one, please update your information with us if we don't have it. Please contact our alumni office. We'll have a way to do that on our email. Make sure that we know if you're moving, if we know if you get a new email address so that we can stay in touch with you. We are heading up to Wisconsin this July. We're going to be in Madison on Tuesday the 14th, and we're going to be doing a broad alumni event in Milwaukee on Wednesday, July 15th. So if you are in that region, please come and join us that afternoon. And then we would invite everyone back for our homecoming in Iowa City. It's a little late this year, Friday, October 30th, and it is going to look a little different at Tippie because our green area where we normally have our barbecue is probably going to be filled with construction equipment. So we've got some exciting ideas, we've got some hard hats, and we have great ways for people to get involved and still come be with us and then enjoy the homecoming parade. I invite you again to attend our Lunch and Learn webinars. All of those are recorded and put on our Tippie YouTube channel, so you can go back and see anything from the past that we've done. To our Tippie Leads podcast, follow us on social media, Instagram, Facebook, wherever it might be, or join a group with us, the Tippie College group on LinkedIn. Partner with me, send me a message, invite me to be a connection for you on LinkedIn as well. I love to hear from our alumni and friends of the college. You can participate in research projects. I can find a way to get you connected with those opportunities. And then, as always, I invite you to make a gift, in particular, supporting the Tippie of tomorrow as we make this new vision a reality for our college. Thank you so much for joining me, and I am going to turn it over to Nick, who has some questions, which he has promised to make sure that I get the opportunity to answer as many as possible.
Yes, thank you, Amy. It was great to hear all of that. So many exciting news and updates in there. So we had some questions in advance and also some that folks have asked. And reminder, you can use that Q&A feature in the chat. We've got a lot around AI, so I'm going to see if I can smush some of these together. If there's anything else, you talked a bit about training for future business around AI. John H asks in the Q&A, wonders specifically about kind of the intersection of AI and critical thinking skills, something that we talk about a lot.
Mhm.
And Brian also adds in that how are we making sure things are up to date in such a rapidly moving technological space?
Yeah, those are two really great questions. Let me tackle the first one with an example, which is in our BCAP class, which was our Business Communications and Professionalism class. One of the first things that we did when ChatGPT became available was to think about, okay, students can use this to write an assignment, right? They can answer a prompt, they can write the assignment, and it'll do a good job for them. What we worked with our Frank Communication Center faculty to do was to think about it's not just write an answer to a prompt anymore, write an answer to what the faculty member is asking for. It's how do you use AI to generate your response and then work with it to critique, does it actually address the problems that are being asked? If anyone has used AI through chat writing, it's very positive and affirming. Anytime you write a prompt, it will say, that's an excellent point, Amy. You should integrate these things. It's not critical. And so we need to continue, and we have really worked in that course where, you know, the products are written assignments to teach students how to use the product in a way where they still use their critical thinking skills. We are working with our faculty to talk about how do we change assessments so that we're not just asking you to memorize something. The AI can memorize something and spit it out for you. How do we make sure that you're analyzing and thinking, does it apply in this situation? And that's why we did such a deep dive into our curriculum in this last year to think about in every part of a major that a student does, what are the classes where they should be using AI, where they should be being taught how to do it? and where they maybe shouldn't be using it. And in most cases, they're going to use it, but how do we integrate that in a way that allows them to still understand and critically think through the issues? AI can be a really great thought partner. It can help you critically analyze things, but you have to know how to use it. And so thinking about how to use the tool moving forward is what we're really focusing on teaching students. Keeping up with technology is a tough one. I would say, honestly, even between January and today, we have at our disposal better tools than we had previously. And so making sure that our AI task force on campus is keeping us up to date with the newest tools that are available. We have a lot of people attending workshops. We are learning at the same time that we are teaching students. And so making sure that all of our faculty have that opportunity to continue feeding their own knowledge base so that we can bring new tools to them. Now, there are some security concerns with some of the tools that are out there, and so we have to work under the umbrella of the university for the security of the systems we use. One example, we have a terrific training tool that uses AI in the sales sector, so you can work with different kinds of clients using AI. But it's taken us a while to get through the security checks to make sure that we're not exposing any kind of data in a way that the university is not comfortable with. So there are lots of tools and techniques that are out there, but we don't just jump in and start sending them out to people. We spend a lot of time working with the university to decide what is safe for us to use, and then how do we teach students to use it. But we have faculty aggressively out there learning those techniques and then integrating when feasible. Thank you for the questions.
So I'm going to smush together a couple more of these. You talked about the MBA program, and one in advance wondered about the future of the MBA programs. And Suresh here in the Q&A asked, any thoughts on reintroducing the in-person MBA program?
Yeah, we always look at our portfolio of programs that we have. In-person programs are not growing nationally right now. There's more programs leading toward closure and integration into an online market. Students right now are having a really hard time leaving their jobs. For 2 years is what the traditional MBA was. Now you're starting to see a lot of one-year MBA programs. Those tend to be 18-month programs. So maybe you start in August and then you go either to the following December, or maybe it's a 12-month program. You go through the following August. Those tend to be programs that are focused on students directly out of school, so that they are finishing an undergrad and then they want to step right into an MBA program. We have not done that. In the past, we've always said our MBAs need to have some years of work experience in order for them to really gain value from that degree. I think if we did create a full-time program in the future that was more of a master's in management, or something that allowed students to do a undergrad straight into an MBA program or a master's in management program, that would be the market we would lean into, not the we expect you to quit your job and come back with us for 2 years. That market has changed significantly and it's not growing.
So, what programs or initiatives does Tippie currently have in place for underserved student populations?
Yeah, underserved is a good term to use because we try to figure out what does that mean. Very much that is our first generation population right now. We are still, the University of Iowa has 20% first generation college students, meaning that no one in their immediate family has graduated from a 4-year university. And so our Gateway program that I mentioned is one way that we help to get those students to learn about what can a 4-year degree do for you. Certainly our scholarships for students that are Pell eligible, that is something that we're focused on. And then reaching into, I think, communities Where you have students that have some credit but they don't have a degree yet, what are the opportunities for them to complete their degrees? That's an area that we really want to move into. Right now, I think another underserved population are working mothers. And so people who have maybe taken some time off and they have raised their kids and now they're trying to get back into the workforce, but maybe they need a little ramping up on credentials, maybe on AI, because the last time that they were in school, maybe AI wasn't a thing. And so any of our continuing certificate programs through our MBA, you can do those with a bachelor's degree. You don't have to get the full MBA. So you can come and do our certificates in AI, and do that as a way to enhance your credentials as you re-enter that workforce, because it's a hard step to take. And if people in the existing workforce are feeling that AI is kind of leaving them with a skill set that needs to be developed, then people who've been out of the workforce for a little while are really feeling that. And so thinking about what our online certificates would be, again, you don't leave your kids, you don't leave your job. You can work on those at a pace that works for you very flexibly, but allows you to then put a credential from the University of Iowa on your resume. That can be really powerful to get you back into the workforce.
So, our final question, I think, sets up your final tip E, which we always close with on the podcast and here on the webinar as well. Because someone was asking, as a Tippie alum, how can we get involved with the college? And I think that sounds a lot like the tip that you were planning to leave folks
Yeah.
with.
Yeah, so my tip is absolutely get connected with us. One of the most straightforward ways is certainly you can look up Tippie College of Business Dean. That's me. Send me an email. I'll get you connected with our alumni relations director. That's Adam McLaughlin. But if you can't find him directly, just come straight to me. I'm happy to do that. Going and interacting with our social media channels, that's one way to hear about what we're doing. Recontact a faculty member. That's the best way. Everybody I talk to as an alum has a particular faculty member that made a difference for them. Reaching out to that faculty member and just saying, hey, I'm here and I'd love to get back and reconnected. We will make sure that all of those connections filter back to our alumni office. And that's a terrific way. Nick, I think you're going to share in the survey at the end of this webinar a variety of ways that they can connect it to different types of our social media, different types of webinars, our podcasts, all of those things that are out there. But you can always certainly reach out to me and I'll get you connected to the right people. And reaching back to a favorite faculty member it's going to make a lot of people happy, but mostly you and the faculty member.
Awesome. Well, Amy, thank you for your insightful presentation and to everyone for joining today's Lunch and Learn. Again, this session's been recorded and will be available on the Tippie Alumni and Lifelong Learning pages, as well as our YouTube channel. It's summer break, so we're taking next month off for Lunch and Learn webinars, but we'll be back with more lunchtime insights that you can use right away, real soon. As Amy indicated, right after the webinar, a brief survey will appear in your browser. Please take a moment to share your feedback to help us enhance future programs. On behalf of everyone at Tippie, thanks for joining us, and go Hawks!
Go Hawks!